Yeah, I hear ya.
No, you listen. You guys locked me out on the patio, and I politely tapped on the window.
Whoa, time out. With your gun.
Debatable.
The weekly hangover. This will probably hurt, but you'll be thirsty for more.
I was gonna wait for you to be ready to start the intro.
You guys, we're back at it again. Episode number
8.
Number
Ish.
8. 8-ish. No, number 7 was last night, the other day.
In podcast land.
In
Number
podcast
7 could have been a month ago.
Very true. Number 7. Number 8. We
Great 8.
went hunting this morning. First off, let's backtrack. I'm Dan. This is Kevin.
I'm Kevin.
He's Kevin. We got to do a little hunting this morning. Well, we went out to go hunting this morning.
We did hunting.
We
didn't do any killing,
We did hunting.
but we did hunting.
Is that a correct?
That's the correct way to say it, actually.
So when you say you did hunting, does that mean you went hunting? Is that a correct saying?
No, we did the
You're a
activity
teacher.
of hunting.
You say, but you can't say we did hunting.
I sure can. I'll say it again. We did hunting.
But we went out. We got up at 6:40. I got up at 6:40. Kevin was in the shower, and waiting on him. We could have got out there a little early, but we got out right before sun came up. So we got out there with a little bit of time.
Yeah, we made it. All right, so I guess the way our hunting property is laid out, it's okay to come in as like just a minute before, because no deer are coming from the direction we're walking, that we walked in from. So it's not like we need to be there an hour before to give the woods time to settle down. So we made it. We cut it a little close. We probably could have afforded to get in a little bit earlier, but we were all right. We were set up pretty well.
Let's say we got set up, and then the sun came up like 10 minutes later,
Yeah,
10 or 15 or so.
yeah, that's probably right.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it was good. It was a great morning. It was beautiful out. I thought it was like a perfect hunting morning. It was a little overcast, but it was nice and chilly. Big temperature drop from the day before. So it was a good day to be out there in the woods, but it was empty. There was nothing but squirrels.
I thought I heard a deer. I thought I heard steps, but it was echoing off of the back of the blind, and it sounded like it was like that's. It sounded so loud, right? Like it was right next to me, like a freaking gorilla was walking behind me. But it was just a squirrel, and it was bouncing off. And you're like, it's coming from over here, and I'm like, no, it's literally on this side, the right side of me. No deer.
So no deer. My batteries were dead in the trail camera, so there was no picture. I don't know when they died, so I don't know if there was deer there like right before we got there or anything like that.
But we did see the deer as we were getting in the truck. We saw
Yeah.
2 of them, I think.
Yep, we saw at least 2 running across my neighbor's yard when we were getting ready to go hunt. Should have just went after them. Just
Should have grabbed your gun.
yeah.
Shabuya.
Bang on the neighbor's door. Hey, we're gonna kill these deer real quick.
We were out there for a little bit, and then came back home, went out, got some food. We're going to go out hunting again tonight.
Tonight will be better. This morning it was warmer this morning than it will be this afternoon because the temperature's just been dropping so much. So tonight should be a really good evening. We're going to go to a different spot, a spot that I have permission, but I haven't hunted in several weeks. So it's had lots of time to just calm down. So hopefully the deer will be running around through there since they don't have any human intrusion messing with them.
So you'd say this is like backwoods, Lynchburg, like forest? Is it still forest?
We hunted this morning in forest. Tonight we're hunting in Lynchburg city limits. Yeah, it's urban deer hunting.
On the campus of Liberty.
Right, yeah, that's exactly
Urban hunting.
right. Yeah. But yeah, so we hunt tonight. We'll be behind this factory. They have a whole bunch of acreage, so we'll just be back there. You know, we'll probably hear people like doing yard work and stuff, which is kind of funny. But it should be good. The weather should be perfect for it. It's going to be a little bit chilly. Dan's super prepared as usual, so he will probably freeze. And then...
I brought a jacket. I brought boots.
how many sweatshirts?
Like, I have a jacket.
No sweatshirts.
It's better than a sweatshirt.
But yeah, so tonight should be a good night. I'm thinking, I'm energized. I'm ready for tonight. I think we're going to kill a deer tonight. I'm not, the fact we didn't see anything this morning is not slowing me down. Tonight's going to be a killing night.
Definitely slowed me down. Mentally, physically. A little sore from shooting yesterday, shooting the bow. And a little bit today. Not much. Did a couple of shots today. My eyesight was a little off. and it was just getting a little sore today.
Yeah, it's a good thing we didn't see any deer this morning, because when we shot the bow this afternoon, we realized the bow sight had gotten hit or bumped, so it was way not centered anymore, so he was shooting all over the place. So we got that fixed, dialed in, so we should be ready to rock and roll tonight.
You could say that it just got bumped, or Kevin just didn't tighten the bolt sight.
Just a bolt.
Bolt sight.
Just the bolt.
Sight bolt.
Just the sight bolt. Yeah, but so hopefully tonight, no snafus, everything will go according to plan, and Dan will arrow some giant world record buck.
Gosh, that'd be incredible.
Wouldn't that be cool?
I would never let you know that.
I would be so disappointed. I'm like praying that the people from the bow shop call me so I can hunt as well instead of just watching. Like that way I can shoot a deer.
I would send you a photo every single day from a different angle. Like, see that? That's one of his 12 points.
Yeah, I think it actually got bigger from the last time we shot it.
I'd zoom in, make him look bigger. That'd be great.
That would be cool. I'd be pumped.
But it was a little chilly for a little bit because I had just my roommates overall camos, and they didn't hold any heat. But it's kind of how I've been with all my, I guess you could say, like, outdoor experience. I'm definitely not the most prepared how I dress.
There's a couple different ways to enter a new hobby. One way that like people with spending problems do is they go out and they buy all this top of the line gear, like the best of everything they can afford, and they spend a bunch of money and they use it once and they never use it again and they give up on the hobby. Mm-hmm. And then the other way for people that are like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to like this activity, is they don't buy anything and they just do whatever they can do with the bare minimum, which is pretty much how you started camping.
Dude, every time I've ever been camping, up until about a year ago, because I have everything that I need now to go camping. It's not the top of the line stuff, but I got everything I need. When we first used to go camping, you and I, or you, myself, and Jordan, and Bobby, or just, a couple people, didn't really have... I had a duffel bag. And you guys had, your ruck packs or your camping packs, and I literally just had the duffel bag. I put all my clothes in it and wore it like a backpack, like it was like a ruck pack, but it just definitely wasn't.
Yeah, I think you had what most people would use as like a gym bag, like that size of a duffel bag. Like you would put your work clothes in there when you went to the gym in the morning, and then you would change and use it for like no more than a pair of gym shorts. And
that's what you did. That's you.
Just that right there.
You see that?
That was you. That wasn't me.
Well, I know. We'll go back.
Hold on. Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and refrain from that.
All right, I'll try.
So when we went camping, I would just never have either anything or the most expensive. Like I never had a sleeping bag. I would use someone on the dorms that was probably made for a 10-year-old kid. It was for like 60-degree weather.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. When I first started, I think the first time I went, I borrowed other people's stuff. And then it was like that next season, I had all my own stuff. But I first was like, hey, yeah, I'll go camping with you. What can I use? And they were like, oh, well, I have this, and this. And on the flip side, it's pretty cool, though, because now I think I have enough equipment to take other people camping. So if somebody had never gone before, I have enough equipment to get myself and them into the woods comfortably.
What would you say are top, besides this wonderful list that I came up with, what would you say are top 5 necessities that you need to bring? Not necessities to go camping, but 5 things you need to bring to go camping.
Top 5 things to bring camping. Is that right?
Yep.
That don't necessarily have to do with camping?
No, 5 things you need to bring to go camping.
Like,
for example,
like
number
sleeping
1,
bag?
sleeping bag.
Oh, okay.
Tent.
Gotcha. All right, you
Get it?
need... Yep, I got it.
You with me? Okay.
We're here.
Copy.
Let's fly this plane. Number 1 would be shelter. So either a tent...
You need to bring your shelter.
Yes.
No. What would you need to bring?
What?
What do you need to bring? Well, I'm asking you, what are you going to tell people that you need to bring?
Some form of shelter.
Okay, for example?
Either a tent or a tarp to like make a lean-to, or if you're going to sleep with a hammock, have a tarp to set it up so you can stay warm.
Remember when we went, just you and I think it was last year, right?
Yep.
The last time
it was last year.
So I vaguely talked about it on one of the other podcasts, but Kevin and I went camping and we were just hanging out and I set up my hammock and it was kind of, the rope was like stretching. I thought it was paracord, but it was knockoff paracord. It's like normal paracord has like a 500-pound tensile strength, I believe.
550.
And this one was definitely not. So I got
150.
I got yeah, it's 650. It didn't hold me. I got it complete to the distance that I wanted between two trees, and I got up on it. And I was like, man, I got it right just where I want it. And it was like, snap. And that's when you shot the photo, and that's the one that I posted.
There's a great picture, if you guys haven't seen it yet, on our Facebook page. Go check it out. Of Dennis he goes, got the hammock just right. And just as he supports all his weight in the hammock, that fake 550 cord snaps on him. And so he falls straight to the ground. And I was like, that could be real dangerous. You could like easily break your butt bone if you landed on a rock. And I was like, this moment needs to be immortalized forever. And so before he could get up, I immediately take my phone out and snap a picture of him on the ground trying to like get back up. That's probably one of my favorite pictures of all time. It was so funny, and I captured the picture perfectly. So definitely go check out that picture. And that brings up another important point about camping. You got to have somewhat good stuff. Mm-hmm. You don't need top of the line gear, but you don't want your hammock to snap when you're sleeping in the middle of the night in the middle of the woods.
Over near a fire.
Yeah. Like falling down a hill. And
no, that, I guess you'd say that's the only thing that I've had real issues with. When I went camping by myself one time, I brought the pocket saw that I had.
Yep.
That works out incredible. If anyone doesn't know, that's literally a chainsaw with handles on it. If you're by yourself and you don't have a hatchet or anything, get a freaking pocket saw. It's $15-$20. It's a game changer. I loved it.
It's pretty cool. I mean,
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's all right.
What do you mean?
I wouldn't think that would be a necessity for anybody camping.
It's an extra necessity.
That's a good way to put it. If you're like going to try to live out in the woods on your own, it's important to have something like that.
Well, it's good that we had, used it to cut up some wood.
Yeah, it's good to cut up some firewood. It was good for that. Cut down some firewood.
Cut up. So, back to your 5. So, a tarp for a lean-to or a tent.
Yeah, some form of shelter. Tent would obviously be the most common. Mm-hmm. Tarp would be the most basic, cheap way to do it. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2 is a backpack or a duffel bag with shoulder straps, so you can just bring the gear that you need. Is that in your top 5?
Is it? I have this is top 5 camping tips.
So you don't have top 5 things.
Well, I have bring camping necessities: tent, sleeping bag, lighter, flint, knife, a little hooch to drink, and water. So I was going to give you some space so you can.
Oh. So I think a backpack is important, or some form to transport your stuff. So you have shelter, you have your backpack. You need a way to start fire. Mm-hmm. Well, you don't need fire, but fire makes a camping trip way more fun.
I think one of the guys that you and I talked to that was passing through on the Appalachian Trail said, or you told me, or someone, or one of the guys told us that they don't normally, like people that are hiking through, they don't normally make fires, right?
Yeah, for people that are like hiking really long distances, they don't bother making fires because it's just like a waste of time and energy. The only thing a fire does is like makes you feel good about being outside. But if you're like, your goal is to just hike 1,000 miles as quickly as possible, there's no point in setting up a fire unless you're like really cold or something like that. And so they have their little food stove, and that's how they do all their cooking and everything. So a fire is just kind of for like the fun sitting around the campfire type of situations.
I mean, yeah, it feels good. Like, it's obviously good to sit around the campfire and hang out and teamwork, bonding, all that fun stuff. It feels good. It obviously makes you warm. But so learn how to make fires for, I guess, people starting out would be a necessity because I
think so.
Yeah.
I think for a casual person going camping, that's part of the experience. You want to sit around the fire, so you have to be able to make one. So I would say it's important to have a lighter. It's also important to bring stuff to get the fire started because if you don't think it through, you're not just going to put a lighter to a twig and start a fire, like, effectively.
Flint.
Right.
Lint. Flint and flint.
Yeah, lint's the way to do it. That's one of my biggest camping tips that I would give is to take dryer lint and put it in a Ziploc bag, take it with you. It burns so long, and it gets such a good little fire, and then you can build your teepee of twigs around it, and it's a really effective way to start a fire.
Bring a lighter that's actually full, because one time Kevin, or I think it was the last time.
Yeah, check your lighter before you just walk into the woods with 2 that don't work.
We were doing like kind of like a checklist of what do we have, what do we need, and I was like, I got a lighter, we're good. And I had a lighter, but it just wasn't full of any butane or whatever.
You had 2. You had 2 lighters. Neither of them worked. Yeah.
So what we did for Kevin, when he got married, he got all the groomsmen these bushwhacking knives, you could say.
Yeah, the brand was Cold Steel, and they were just big knives, big fixed blade knives that were probably like 8 inches long.
That's way bigger than Kevin gave a 13 inches separation, but yeah, that's about 23. In the casing, there was a little piece of flint, like a flint stick. Right?
Yeah, the knife came with a sheath, like a plastic sheath, and attached to the sheath is a little thing of flint magnesium or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so you can use that to start a fire in a pinch. It takes some practice usually, but when you and I went, we did it in one shot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. I was proud of myself for that.
We had a little bit of paper that we ripped up in small pieces, like very, very small, and like, I don't know, small little handful. And that's what we used, and then 2, maybe 3 strikes, and it was incredible.
Yeah. Flint's usually going to be pretty tough if you've never done it before, but it's really good because it's small and you don't need to like take up a whole lot of space with it. So it's good to have it just as a backup in case, your lighter doesn't work. But a lighter is obviously a much easier way to go.
So learn to make a fire. Get some stuff to make a fire.
Yep, fire's number 3.
What's number 4?
Number 4, which is actually probably more important than number 3, but this order is not necessarily in order.
Should we
but
start
number
over?
4 would be... No, that's all right.
You want to start over?
I don't want to start over.
Okay.
Number 4 would be sleeping bag. You want to have a good sleeping bag depending on where you're camping and what the weather's going to be. Sleeping bags are rated by temperature, so you want to make sure that whatever the low temperature is for that night, your sleeping bag is good below that temperature. Because a 20-degree sleeping bag in 20-degree weather is still going to be pretty cold. That's kind of like it would be a little bit unbearable. It'd be tough.
When the sleeping bag that I have now, I got from a Christmas present from my mom. Love you, Mom. And it's, I believe it's 15 degrees. I don't think it's the negative. I'm pretty sure it's 15, right? You know the green one that I have?
Yeah.
And it's got like a little cushion in the headrest. It's a mummy sleeping bag.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I was very, very cold outside, but inside my tent it was completely warm. But, in Virginia, it doesn't really get super, super cold out.
Yeah, unless you're in Virginia, unless you're camping in like the middle of winter, you can get by with like a 30-degree bag and that'd be just fine, I think.
The one time you, Steven, and I, and the other people went camping, it started snowing the morning we left, right?
Yeah, there was a major snowstorm that moved in. It started snowing the morning that we were leaving. And it started snowing at like 5 a.m. I'm pretty sure it was still dark when we got up and started leaving.
Yeah, it was cold.
That was really cold.
It was cold for some.
For most of us.
All right, number 5, after sleeping bag.
After sleeping bag would be a sleeping pad. It's kind of like for comfort. You don't really need it, but it makes it a lot better. It's like the difference between actually sleeping decent and just kind of laying on the ground all night, in my opinion.
It's not a necessity, but it's a definite good thing to have. Like, you have, actually, I bought you yours for Christmas.
That's right? Yeah.
And that thing's incredible.
Yeah, the Thermarest, they make all sorts of different types. There's some that are like self-inflatable, so they inflate to like, about 1.5 inches or 2 inches depending on what type you get. And those are super comfortable, but they're generally really heavy. And then they make ones that just roll up there's just a mat that rolls up. And those are a lot lighter and then a lot easier because it's not like anything could go wrong with it. Like an inflatable one could get delaminated or could get a hole and leak and pop, and then it's totally pointless. So
and I would say all along with that, obviously you're going to want to stay warm because it's going to get colder at night. Most times I don't like camping in the summertime. It's just way too hot.
Yeah, no
in Virginia, it's way too humid. But obviously dress for the weather. Good warm boots.
Oh yeah. Good protection. Like if you're hiking in, you want to have like good footwear for it instead of just wearing like gym shoes. If you roll your ankle on a rock, that would really suck.
It's a pretty good top 5.
I think so.
I have top 5 camping tips that I wrote out a couple days ago that I wanted to tell you about. All right. First off, number 1, when someone says they want to go camping, make sure you know what they mean.
Oh yeah.
So when you and I go camping, we're on the same page. We want to go outside, put up a tent, hang outside, maybe have a cigar. I'll have a cigar. Liz.
Sorry, my wife doesn't listen. I can tell her. I can tell everybody else I like to smoke cigars when we go camping.
So we went camping with this guy named Samuel. We call him Bobby. We were supposed to go for 2 days, right?
That's right.
We're supposed to go, and he was just complaining the whole time. And as soon as we got out there, he's like, "Well, what do we do now?" You know? I mean, you remember you were there, but it was just make sure you know what kind of camping they want to go. If people that have never been camping, it's probably you can still have a great time. Like we've been camping with people that like him, probably never been camping before. Mm-hmm. So
the first time I took my wife camping was just a few weeks after we got married, and so I knew her type of camping and my type of camping are very different. Mm-hmm. So I had to work to bridge that gap, and what bridging that gap meant for me and my wife was literally bringing little bottles of wine, bringing the biggest comfortable pillows we could find. We almost like bringing stuff for marshmallows and bringing stuff for s'mores. So it was not just regular camping. And we actually had to hike into the spot, and we had so much stuff on our backs, people thought we were hiking the entire Appalachian Trail. We were like, nope, just coming in for one night. And but it was good. She loved it. We had fun, and that's because we were able to make sure we were on the same page, and she didn't think we were doing like glamping, and I thought we were going to go rough it for a couple days. Mm-hmm. So we were able to bridge the gap and had an awesome time.
Make sure you're on the same page as the other people you're going camping with. Number 2. Bring light food. If you're going for a night, just prepare how you'd want to eat. Obviously, you're going to have, if you go out for a whole day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Oatmeal is light. All you do is add hot water. You usually have your stove that'll make some hot water, mix it in. It's very easy. Hot dogs go a long way for lunch and dinner. Make hot dogs. There's those packets of noodles we get, like you just add water. They're $1.
Yeah.
Pack light, bring water.
Yeah, hot dogs are a better like traditional camping food if you know where you're going and you don't need to worry about how much stuff you're bringing. If you need to pack light, it's better to get freeze-dried food, like little like ramen type noodles and or like that type of rice where you just got to add water. Mm-hmm. That stuff goes a long way.
The freeze-dried stuff is a little more expensive, but you can get it anywhere. You can get it at Walmart. Yeah. You can get it anywhere, and it's between like $5 and $7 per serving or so.
Yeah, for like the Mountain House meals, it's a lot more expensive. But at Walmart, you can just go and get like the just add water rice and noodles for like 99 cents for a pretty big serving.
That's what I said.
I know.
Noodles.
Don't forget the noodles. And hot dogs make a great add-in to those meals.
For anything for lunch or dinner.
Yeah.
Burn them. Get them nice and crispy.
Drop them in the fire, pick them up 4 hours later.
All right, let's see. Number 3, bring all your necessities. Like Kevin said, tent, sleeping bag, lighter, flint, knife, a little hooch to drink. That's not a necessity, but it's nothing wrong with bringing a little drink. Nothing wrong with it.
Oh yeah, that adds to the camping experience in an equivalent way to a fire adding to the camping experience. Helps you sleep too, which is kind of nice.
Keeps a little warm.
Keeps you warm. Oh yeah, it definitely keeps you warm. That's also definite added weight, but in my opinion, totally worth it.
Yeah, definitely fun to have. It's never bad. Number 4, find a nice flat ground.
Yeah, that's important.
And near wood for fire. Running water is usually like what I like to camp around. Like so we can I drank out of the water where we went on the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah,
love it. Nothing wrong with it. You don't have to camp near water, but also like where we go is heavily camped sometimes, so it's harder to find wood out there.
Yeah.
So either if you're gonna go glamping, bring wood. But if you're gonna go somewhere where it's be near wood.
Yeah. Be near water, I think, is a tip that I would say. You don't have to be near water. You can just bring water. But being near it is so much easier because you don't have to, pack it all in and bring it all in and worry about throwing away all the water bottles later. You can just fill up whatever you need at that moment, and then you don't have to worry about it. You can use either different tablets to filter it or just bring an actual filter. Pretty easy. I always try to camp near water.
I know you had that Life-proof straw. Do you ever use it?
Yeah, I have used the Life straw. It's good. It's definitely more of like a life or death situation thing. It's super light, which is nice, but it's really tough to like suck through the filter to get water. So if that's the only thing you're going to use and you're camping for a while, it makes it really difficult to drink water because you have to constantly suck the water through the hose instead of where if you had the tablets, you could just fill up a giant jug of water, put the tablets in, and then you can drink straight from that.
My personal favorite, number 5, bring cigars.
Bring cigars.
I usually have some with me when I go out of town or go to work. No. bring something you're gonna enjoy. You know, you're gonna enjoy with your friends, your boys or your girls, whoever you're going camping with. But enjoy the outdoors, enjoy the silence, be creative, have fun, go nuts, go for a hike, enjoy it. You know.
I would also say bring small cigars because the last time you and me went, I don't really smoke cigars very often, and that cigar put me on my tail, man. I was dead to the. It was like I smoked an entire like foot-long cigar in one sitting. I went to stand up and I was like, well, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna sit back down for a couple minutes. I was done. That one cigar killed me because I don't smoke them enough.
I have like 6 of those a day. Pansy. Get your weight up. All those are not, super big necessities. Some of them are. Obviously, stay warm, bring stuff you need. But
a knife is important. I probably would actually change my list to put a knife on my list. I didn't say that, but I should have.
What kind of knife?
I'd like a fixed blade knife for the like durability of it, but any pocket knife is fine. It's just important to have something to help cut up the firewood. It makes it a whole lot easier than just
pocket saw, baby.
Pocket saw is effective if you're cutting up like 4-inch thick size tree limbs.
Yeah.
Or you could just find them on the ground, let the fire do the work.
Nah, man. Have you ever seen those? It's a campfire, but it's like angled in. And there's logs on each side, so as the fire goes down, the logs roll towards the fire. Do you know what kind of fire that is?
I don't know if there's like a name for it, but I have seen a picture of it, and I can't really picture that being effective for like backpack camping.
No, but I saw this guy that was doing a video, and he set it up, and for 16 or 15 hours, the fire was completely lit.
That's awesome.
But
that would be great if you're camping with like a bunch of people at like a campsite. Oh, that would be amazing.
It's just designed for the logs as it burns, just to roll further into the fire. It definitely looked like a lot of work.
Yeah, that's cool though. That would be sweet.
So big shout out to Summers. What's up, man? I know you wanted to say bring all your manly essentials like cigars, maybe a little bit of hooch.
I think if I was going to go stereotypical as possible, manly camping, I wouldn't bring a tent. I would just bring a sleeping bag. Mm-hmm. I would bring a little bit of shine.
I got some shine.
Yeah. Bring some cigars and just a knife with flint. And that's what I would want to do my camping trip with.
Bring some mental toughness. If you're going with your goons...
I don't have any of that.
If you're going with your goons, prepare.
I'm fresh out.
One time, Kevin and I and some people went camping, and I was going to jump over a fire. I've told the story briefly, but I was getting ready to jump over a fire, and as I was jumping, Kevin grabbed my shirt or grabbed my arm. I was like, yeah! And it was hot in the fire. But I think Kendall and I talked out about that a while ago, but it was so funny. I'll never forget.
Gotta have the mental toughness. That's the downside of bringing shine with you when you go camping, is you think it's fun to grab your friends when they're trying to jump over a fire to impress somebody.
That was a good camping trip.
That was a good camping trip.
Even though 3 of all 6 of us have never been camping. What did you say?
Which trip was that? Oh, that was Steven's softball trips.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. At least 3 of those people had never been camping.
Us, you, myself, and Steven have been camping.
Yeah.
But
that was so fun.
The other participants, definitely not.
Yeah. So what do you think were your biggest lessons learned from the first time you went camping with your duffel bag to where you are now? You're ready to rock and roll.
Well, those aren't the first times that I've been camping. It was with my duffel bag.
Oh.
But I would say just being prepared is good. Like if you're not gonna want to go out and buy all your stuff, if you know someone that does, don't be afraid to ask them. Like, hey, so what's up with that sleeping bag? Just be prepared. Like you can definitely pack way too much stuff, but it also sucks when you're like, man, I wish I would have had it. Better need it than not have it and have it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. It would be you could still enjoy a camping trip if you brought too much stuff and it was just heavy to walk around with. It's going to be tough to enjoy a camping trip if you forgot something that made the trip miserable.
Yeah,
like
for
if
sure.
you had a really crappy sleeping bag and so you were freezing and you couldn't sleep the whole time, you're probably not going to enjoy it.
Yeah, like when you, Jordan, Bobby, and myself, when we all went camping, we stayed under that. What would you say that house was?
The shelter.
Yeah, we call it shelter.
It was a shelter.
in some dictionaries. But there's on the app trail. There's this shelter, and it was that the time where it was pretty rainy outside?
It's rained more than once for you and me.
One of the times we went, it was really wet, really raining outside.
One time, are you talking about a time where it was windy too? Like really windy through the night?
Were we under the?
We didn't sleep under the shelter when it was really windy. We should have, but there was somebody else under the shelter.
Oh yeah.
I remember I was in my hammock that night, and
Jay was with us. Right?
That's right. That was the time with Jay. I went. So I've done. Yeah, that trip was funny because the wind was blowing so hard that it kept our fire roaring when we were getting ready to go to bed, and I was probably 5 yards away from it in my hammock. And when the wind started picking up, it was like burning. I felt the heat way too close for comfort. And so finally the fire went down. I was able to like go to sleep. But I was like, this is going to be the night where a tree falls on me in the middle of the night, and this will be all she wrote.
I'd say from those first time camping and to now, I'd say just to know what kind of camping you're gonna go into. Like if you're just gonna go hang out with some friends and you just literally want to make a fire, then go get tons of wood, spend an hour or two, go get some wood. Set up everything. Make sure you know what you're gonna eat. Separate out and have fun. Be happy being outside, like being away from your cell phone. Like, yeah, you're not gonna get service out there, but just enjoy it. I'd say.
Oh yeah, that's good. I think I like to go different types of camping. So I've done glamping with Alyssa, where we go top of the line. We have as much comfort as possible. One time me and Jay went, just me and Jay, shout out Jay Major. And we just went with our tarps and the we just went with tarps and sleeping bags and backpacks.
I'm leaving that. I'm leaving that in.
We just went with tarps and backpacks, and it was a lot of fun until it started raining, and my tarp was a super low quality tarp. I didn't know there was different levels of tarp quality until my tarp started seeping with water. So we went to go be tough, and it was not fun. But it was fun looking back. At the time, it was not fun though. So now I have my nice happy medium where I'm going to stay dry, I'm going to stay warm, but I'm still going to be in a tent. I'm not going to be in a big giant like camper or something like that.
Yeah. I definitely like going just, you and I, it's definitely a lot of fun. It's a little more, I guess you could say a little more rugged than you would be with like camping out in like a backyard.
Yeah.
But it's definitely fun if you're with your boys, with your friends, with people, just enjoy it. If something goes wrong, well, have fun.
Oh yeah. What was your favorite camping trip?
My favorite probably camping trip was either with you, me, Jordan, and Bobby, just because it was kind of funny that he just like wasn't mentally prepared for it. But I know the last time you and I went camping, we had the time when my hammock snapped. That was a lot of fun. Like we had a good fire, but actually one of the best times that I went, well, the only time I've went by myself, I got a ton of wood. It's a huge pile. I cut down a tree just like with my pocket saw. What's up? Amazon.
Sponsored by Amazon $5 pocket saws.
It was incredible. It was just, you're out by yourself. No phone. It was fun.
Yeah. I think my favorite time was our most recent trip. But one of my other best trips was when I went with Chris Deaton and a guy on the hall, Eric Garcia. Because Deaton is pretty good, top of the line type of gear. He knows what he's doing. And Eric Garcia, everything he had was, I think he spent maybe no more than $30 total for his sleeping bag, his hammock, his tarp. He was totally warm. He was more comfortable than I was, and he did everything do it yourself. So I learned a lot from him on that camping trip. He was the one that like showed me like the real cheap food to get. He even was like making muffins for breakfast. He was like so impressive with everything he did. And he got it all from like Dollar General and Ollie's, and he just put it all together, and he was able to set it up good. So it was cool. I learned a lot from that type of camping trip. And now that I know what I'm doing when I go camping, I like to it's been more fun the more times I've gone because I've been more prepared.
Dude, what are we getting into tonight?
We're going to hit back to the woods. It's raining now, and it's supposed to stop, which is perfect. That means the deer should probably get up and move as soon as that rain dies off. Dan, you're gonna stick an arrow through a deer.
Human.
I'm gonna maybe a human, maybe a dog, whatever comes walking down. I am hoping that the bow shop calls me and tells me my bow is ready today, so I can go hunt this evening instead of just sitting there. But I don't think that's gonna happen. We're gonna go out, we're gonna hunt, and we're gonna shoot a deer, and we're gonna clean it up and eat it tonight. The whole thing.
Whole thing.
The whole thing.
Man, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
That'll be fun, man. I'm pretty excited to hopefully at least see something.
I think one of the positives of if we're not sitting right next to each other is we'll be more quiet, and so that'll probably help us.
I was quiet.
I don't think we were that quiet.
Listen, you're the instructor.
I know. I don't get to see that often though. I want to hang out.
Yeah, so why are we gonna separate on this next?
We can figure it out. We can do something different.
Yeah, sounds great.
We'll text.
And tonight, I know we may not, but I'm going to. There are the fights on.
I'm watching these fights. With or without you.
So big fights on tonight. After you hear this, it'll already be after. But Cody Garbrandt, T.J. Dillashaw, the return of George St. Pierre, Michael Bisping, Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus Rose Namajunas. Oh, it's gonna be a great fight. 3 title fights.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Good night for GSP to come back.
I got $20 with Braden. We're on air. Do you want to bet? I'm going for Michael Bisping.
What do you want me to bet?
What do you want to bet? What do you want to lose?
I don't have any money. I can't bet any money. I can look around and see some stuff in here. I'll get rid of Alyssa's some of her stuff. I'll bet that. But I don't know. I think GSP, he's gonna have. It's cool that he's coming back. Very nostalgic. You know, when I was like first really starting to watch UFC, it was really fun. GSP was the first, like, my first favorite megastar. Him and Anderson Silva were the first 2 guys that were totally dominating, you know, superstars in the sport.
That's crazy.
Not the first guys, but they were the ones that were big when I was paying attention.
He's not my favorite fighter by any means, but he's so good at wrestling and being dominant.
Yeah, he's
incredible.
Yeah, he's great at controlling the fight.
Yeah.
He's really good at controlling the fight and getting a win.
Michael Bisping's a killer, man.
Oh yeah.
He's a monster, dude. Those are my picks are Michael Bisping. I want Dillashaw to win, but I think it's going to win. I think Garbrandt's going to win by decision. I don't think he's going to KO him. I don't think it'll be either TKO or a decision. But
so you're turning your back on Team Alpha Male?
No.
Yeah, you are.
I want... yeah, we'll call it. Shout out Team Alpha Male. Benito Lopez. What's up, man? Tyler Diamond. Team Alpha Male. And Joanna Jędrzejczyk. She's going to win. Greatest women's martial artist of all time. Billy, that's a shout out for you, buddy. You put that on Facebook. By the way, if you want a topic... If you want something to talk about, hit up thewhangover@gmail.com. Check out our Facebook page, The Weekly Hangover. You know, if you want to talk about something, if you think we suck at everything, don't tell us that.
And please leave us a review on whatever platform you listen to. Just let us know what we're doing good, what we're doing bad. Just throw it out there. Let us know what you guys like, what you want to hear. And, yeah, we'll keep pumping out episodes.
We're on iTunes, obviously, Google Play, YouTube now, and Facebook, Twitter, Insta, Google,
Are we on Instagram?
I am, for The Weekly Hangover, yeah. Yeah.
You putting those pictures up?
Yeah.
Cool.
Sure.
Check us out on Instagram.
Dude, this has been another. No, dude, this has been good, man. I'm definitely glad we got to do this. Let's freaking kill a deer tonight.
Let's do it, man.
I'm gonna kill a deer.
I'm gonna watch you kill a deer. All right.
All right, guys. This has been another episode of The Weekly Hangover. We're out.